the fans, especially the ones in the States, I don't know. Some of them they just don't get it. It's a very difficult thing to do, and I understand that some of them understand that. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, it is not the most exciting thing when one guy cannot get up. But then whose fault is that? So it's like, do you give Khamzat the? I don't know. Do you blame Khamzat? The ref even did two terrible stand-ups in my opinion and gave him a chance, and he still got blanketed and crucifixed 3 times. So Duplessis, I was just kind of shocked and taken back by how bad he was off of his back. I thought he had a well-rounded BJJ game. I thought he was awkward on the feet, but he was a good enough grappler everywhere. So I thought it was going to be a very compelling fight. But Hamza just did what he does to everybody.
All right, let us say hello to the former UFC bantamweight champion, Aljamain Sterling, a.k.a. Funk Poppy. He is back this Saturday in the co-main event of UFC Shanghai, facing past two-time featherweight title challenger, Brian Ortega, the man behind Funk Harbor Rum, one and only Aljamain Sterling. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's fight week, another one in the books. So, just getting the weight down and excited for the opportunity to fight a guy as notable with a big name as Brian Ortega.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have you back, obviously. And the last time we spoke is right after Rob Dwalishvili beat Sean O'Malley and stopped him in the rematch. And you said, I'm ready. I want to fight. Just give me a call. You were ready to go outside of a bachelor party. The timeline was pretty wide open, but you get Brian Ortega. It seems like this worked out pretty well for you in terms of how this all played out, and maybe the waiting game paid off a little bit for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was to the point where I just wanted to compete, man. So, but I am happy I'm competing against a notable name that fans are actually excited about, So for me, I could get excited for a fight like this. Brian's a super chill dude, but I mean, just based on the rankings, he was like the only guy ahead of me that makes any type of sense where I can actually get the matchup. And I'm trying to get another belt, man. So it's just one of those things. It just sucks that this is like the first, I guess, friendly type of opponent that I'm going to ever have to compete against, which is interesting. This is like trying to not like a guy that's super chill is kind of weird, but it is what it is. It's a fight, right? So we gotta both get ourselves to that mental mind to be able to compete.
We learn things every day about this game and about life, and this is just another chapter of the story. And I'm glad you're here because, but before we get into the matchup, like there is like a little bit of housekeeping from Saturday that I want to talk to you about. More specifically, Khamzat Chimaev wins the middleweight title and he beats Dricus du Plessis, and the fight was not competitive. And Chimaev just kind of runs him over and neutralizes him for 25 minutes. But he's getting a lot of heat from the fan base, Aljo, for the grappling, maybe being a bit reserved at times in terms of delivering punishment. And you obviously are a terrific grappler. And there have been performances you've had where it's like, well, there's Aljo. He's just grappling. He's doing the quote unquote backpack thing and, using it in your fights. So your reaction to what Khamzat did and then just sort of the blowback that he's received for this, in my opinion, incredible performance.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was going to get that. I mean, the fans, especially the ones in the States, I don't know. Some of them, they just don't get it. It's a very difficult thing to do, and I understand that some of them understand that. And I'm not gonna lie, it is not the most exciting thing when one guy cannot get up. But then whose fault is that? So it's like, do you give Khamzat the? I don't know. Do you blame Khamzat? The ref even did two terrible stand-ups in my opinion and gave him a chance, and he still got blanketed and crucifixed 3 times. So Duplessis, I was just kind of shocked and taken back by how bad he was off of his back. I thought he had a well-rounded BJJ game. I thought he was awkward on the feet, but he was a good enough grappler everywhere. So I thought it was going to be a very compelling fight. But Hamza just did what he does to everybody. Very dominant performance. Kudos to him because I originally picked DDP and then I switched because I really wanted Hamza to win. And thankfully, it went the way that I thought. Well, not I didn't think it was gonna go that way like that, but it went for the winner that I wanted to get their hand raised. But yeah, there's gonna be no one to stop him. So it's like, what do you do? I mean, he's trying to finish guys. It's not like he didn't try to go for the finish. So I get it. They could say, oh, maybe he could have taken more chances and opened up with bigger shots and then tire himself out because they want it to be more exciting. Well, it's just like there's a risk versus reward. There's such a fine line between winning and that fine line where you lose because you just did a little bit too much. And then guess what they fans say? Oh, if you just did that one thing that you were really good at and stuck to that, then that would have been smarter. But they don't give a shit. So
yeah, the fallout of this from an outside looking in perspective has been pretty fascinating. And before that fight happened, big fight in your division, Lerone Murphy goes out and just knocks Aaron Pico unconscious, and now it looks like he might fight Alexander Volkanovski for the belt. It's pretty crazy how quickly things can change in the sport in just 1 second, Aljo. And I'm curious what your thoughts were watching that happen, because I know we last spoke, you thought Lerone might be a guy you could get matched up with, and it wasn't all that exciting to you outside of you just getting in there and fighting because you really wanted to get in there and fight somebody.
yeah, the thing with Lerone Murphy, no one really knew who he was. Now they do, you know. Now they do. Kudos to him, man. That was a great comeback knockout because he was on his way to possibly getting finished in that first round, or maybe even the second, just the way things were going. But Pico, once again, that aggression, that aggressive style, it comes back to bite you sometimes, especially with a guy who does tricky stuff. Like Lerone Murphy's not super flashy. He'll throw a spinning back kick. He has some nice elbows, but he's very fundamentally sound. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary, but you give him what he wants and you get an opportunity to get a finish like that. And he's a smart, intelligent fighter, you know? But you got Pico, heavy hands, great wrestler, doesn't really control people, but will wrestle you if he needs to, can take you down pretty much anytime that he really wants. And then he looks for those big body shots, but when he does that, he car crashes. And when you run into a shot, I mean, I know firsthand, I ran into a knee that wasn't even meant for a head kick, you know? So I got knocked out by Marlon Moraes by just shooting in and diving in on something. The same thing he once crashed in, and the same thing he did in Bellator. I don't know. It's a crazy game, man. One day you're like this, one moment you're like this, and then next thing you know, 1 second later, the whole fight just changes right before your eyes. So kudos to Lerone Murphy. I do think he should get the next title shot. It sucks for Mosar because Mosar should have been the guy, but he missed his opportunity to stake his claim, and here we are. The division is just in a weird spot, but it's also an exciting time for the featherweight division because there's so many faces, just like 185. There's so many potential challenges.
What's your advice to Aaron Pico right now? Because again, the fan base is like, well, there's another Bellator guy came over and got done up again. Like, there's levels to this. Like, what's your advice to Aaron Pico? Because he did look good until he didn't.
I think that's it. Simply perspective. I mean, he's been knocked out like that before, running into a shot, and he built himself back up. I think he has to keep it in perspective. And at the end of the day, it was just a real fight IQ error. You take that away, he probably wins that fight the way that it was going. I mean, it was only 3 minutes, right, into the first round, but still, that showed a lot for the indication of how good he actually is. So I think you got to look at it glass half full. Like, yeah, I might have got sent to the gulags, but at the same time, I was actually doing really well against an undefeated, highly touted guy who could potentially fight for a world title. So with that said, that's really all the advice I would give him. It's tough. I don't think there was a skill deficiency whatsoever. I think it's just he got over anxious, made one wrong thing, trying to finish his prey too soon, and it came back to bit him in the ass. And I think that was the fight IQ of Lerone Murphy and the experience. So I think it kind of just learning lesson for sure.
And just a week after that big moment happens, you get to fight Brian Ortega. And like you said, featherweight's very interesting right now. It's kind of a wide open slate because either Volkanovski has fought all of these guys once or twice, or the fresh matchups there's kind of a lane here. And I wanted to ask you, because there seems to be some confusion in the Twitterverse in regards to this fight. This is a 5-round co-main event, correct?
Yeah, I don't know why it's 5 rounds. I don't know if Brian Ortega is the one who asked for 5 rounds, but like 5 round main events, if you're not the champion, you get an extra pay incentive. So I'm kind of annoyed because we're not getting extra pay for 5 rounds. I'm like, did he want to fight 5 rounds for no extra money? Like I think it's kind of fucking stupid. Like, what are we getting out of this? We're not getting a trophy at the end of this. So why are we fighting 5 rounds? This is 10 extra minutes of training, 10 extra minutes of fighting. I don't know if I legitimately do not know. We got the same manager. So I don't want 5 rounds. 5 rounds, like, who wants to do 5 rounds? Who wants to fight more for the same pay rate that they're going to get? It doesn't make any sense.
Why did you find out it was 5?
In the beginning of the contract. And I was just like, for what? I thought potentially we might be moved to the main event. And then that hasn't happened. So here we are. I'm like, well, hey, Mr. Manager, can we get a little extra money for this? I'm like, I've been asking for weeks. I'm like, because this is, I mean, the fight's going to happen regardless, right? But it just would be nice to be compensated to do the extra. This is outside of the ordinary scope. So it's like, well, no co-main event is 5 rounds unless they're getting paid. So I don't know. It's a little weird. I am a little annoyed by that. I know some people are going to take that headline and clip it, and I was just frustrated with the UFC. It's not even that. Make it make sense. I train hard, I got a big wedding coming up. Hunter knows about it. So, dude, little extra bonus would be nice. It would be nice for both of us, both of our families.
Hey, I mean, look, if you're looking for something to get you a little extra upset, maybe you can put it in your brain that Brian asked for 5 rounds and no extra money. And then maybe that'll get you that extra motivation you were looking for.
A hard time believing that Brian just asked for 5 rounds without extra money. It just would just be like, what are you accomplishing? Do you think it's a gas tank thing? I don't know. I've been trying to wrap my head around it for weeks, like the past 6 weeks since pretty much knew about the fight, so that's whatever. 5 round fight.
But I mean, we're here and it's got to be 5 rounds, regardless of how you feel about it. Like you said, with this division right now, like, how big is this fight for you? Because you don't strike me as a guy, and you said it earlier, that you're here trying to get another belt, and you don't strike me as a guy who just wants to be in the mix of a division or just fight divisional foe for no reason. You always want to be in consideration for the belt, and you had that really fun and close fight with Movzar, and now you get this one. Like, how big is this for you?
This is a huge fight, man. I think this is a crossroads fight for both of us, just at our age, what we've both accomplished and where we've both been in our divisions. This, I don't want to say this is a make it or break it fight for me, but I'm not interested in fighting up and coming contenders just for a paycheck. Like, maybe I will consider that at some point, but I don't have that mentality right now. That's not what I'm looking to do. That doesn't get me up in the morning and make me want to go train to fight these young 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds who don't have a name. Like, they're trying to make the name off of me. They're trying to make the name off of Ortega. It's one of those type of things. I know some people might say, oh, whatever. Some the fans could be fickle when they want to be. Some could be very supportive, which, I always appreciate the support and the people that can understand the perspective of someone who's just being honest and transparent. That's just how I am. I'm honest and transparent. And, I would like to fight for another title. God willing, I get a big win. It's going to be hard to top a spinning back elbow, but we are fighting 5 rounds. I'm hoping that's some type of direction of what things might come from this. So I'm just trying to be positive about the whole thing, and may the best man win. At the end of the day, if I'm not good enough, then I'm not good enough at this point. And I think maybe it could be due to the size. It could be due to the age. It could be due to so many different things. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm still in the training room. I'm still kicking young guys' asses. So that makes me feel good. So I'm like, all right, well, I got to be able to do that out in the octagon. If I could do that, then good things will happen.
Well, I'm looking forward to this fight for sure. Last thing I want to ask you about, you got the Funk Harbor jersey on, you got the chain on. It's a big time to be in the industry right now. Aljo, how's everything going since we last spoke? Any new areas? Any new stores? How's the Funk Harbor business going?
It's going pretty well. We're trying to get into Georgia, the country, and also the UK. Hopefully, we can make that happen. Working on some things. There's just a lot of back end stuff that I have to navigate because I'm the owner. So there's a lot of administrative stuff and logistics that I'm actually doing, which is it's a full time job on top of having a full time job. So it's definitely work. We got some good accounts in California, which was really really nice at the Water Grill, and that's going to be sick to be a part of them, be a part of their signature cocktail menus and things like that. So that's what I'm excited about, stuff like that, because it's a different. I'm as excited about this company as I am when I first started MMA. Just the opportunities and the what ifs and what could potentially happen and what this could potentially grow into. So just like fighting, I try to put as much time into that as I can, but I obviously know the main breadwinner and the main thing that I'm actually good at is I know fighting. I know I'm really good at that. So that's where the most of the focus has been, and just doing the work for the company when I can. And hopefully, good thing is I have a couple good people on my team. It's a very small team of like 3 people. So, um, whenever I need them to do certain things, they are able to pick up the slack when I can't do it. So I wear a lot of hats, and I'm excited for the future, man. Hopefully, we take Funk Harbor to the moon. It's at a slower pace than Conor McGregor because they had funding. We didn't have funding. We're actually going to be looking to do a crowdfunding so we could continue to scale the company. Because other than that, it's just going to be me putting money into the brand over and over and over till it eventually grows enough accounts where we can actually turn over a profit. But the accounts have been positive. We've been making money. Sales have been coming in, and the fans have been huge in supporting the division. And most of the guys who've actually tried it actually really enjoy the product. So that's what I'm really happy about. It's actually a good quality product. No additives, no preservatives. So I drink in training camp. I drink outside of training camp. And it's nice to have something that you can drink that's actually good in terms of quality.
Love to hear it, man. Congrats on the success there, and enjoy Shanghai, and all the best inside that octagon for a potential 25 minutes with Brian Ortega this Saturday, UFC Shanghai. Looking forward to it, man. Always great catching up with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.